Hey guys, welcome back to Banished Souls. I hope you've been having a wonderful week. So we are now Saturday. Man, I can't believe it's finally got here. I believe it's Saturday. I better check my calendar. Yep, it is Saturday, March the 2nd. So for those who don't know, mark your calendars. March 5th begins Jaws of Retribution. That contract can be picked out at St. Anne on the bounty board. That is going to be the new sea monster. That is where you need to get those scales for that Ouroboros armor if you've been following the channel and following some of the advice we've given, then you already have that blueprint, and all you need is those 4 scales. You've already picked up your Gannet Saltpeter by loading in your roving missions, your delivery missions, and looking for the ones that has the Gannet fleets, and instead of delivering, just farming out any of these rogue element fleets that come along with it. Indeed, taking them out one at a time. So one of the things you're going to notice is the fleets that actually carry that stuff. The ship is going to have a captain's name above it, just like if you're dealing with plague ships trying to spawn a boss. If you don't see a name on it, it's typically not going to have it. Doesn't hurt to pick up just to make sure. So we always try to pick up our items, even if it's 20 cannonballs, it's 20 more ships we can shoot at. So, or 20 more rounds we can fire at a ship. But right now I'm just going through the gameplay. I am showing you how to farm your SP, and I want to just take a moment to get some advice for some of the guys here. So what is your favorite furniture? Definitely post up. If you're running the Sandbuck, I want to hear about it. So we are using the Elemental 19% boost for these demi cannons. That is what the Zama Zama 3s are, as demi cannons. So we're using the 19%. We're also using the 10% increase on there as well. So we should be really kicking out some elemental damage, and we get some good results with it. One of the things I love most about it is the fact that when you shoot, it sends out that pulse if you can start that blaze effect. But been gaming for, man, last night's probably the first real night sleep I had in a very long time just playing this game. I've been farming the season pass. A lot of guys are focusing on pieces of 8, building their kingdoms right now, and that's good too. But one of the things I've noticed is even with all the farming of the pieces of 8, it seems like maybe they're spending it back into the business to build it up, and that's fine because we don't really have a true PvP area uploaded into the game yet. So until that happens, everyone's just kind of building up their kingdoms. I use just enough. We'll show you over here on the map. So I currently have 6 level 7 bases. These are going to net in to the bank 800 per. So that's a pretty good little deposit on there. And we can run this. It takes about, I would say it takes about 6 hours, 7 hours for it to fill up. So we can get 3 harvests out of a day. We just have to set the alarm clock to get up to pick up that harvest, or to equip our silver to restart the business. Something to look at. But that's kind of what I'm looking at now. But I've been kind of looking for a new energy drink. I don't know what kind of stuff people drink. I mean, I drink coffee, but that doesn't really keep you awake. At least it doesn't me. It does help if you get caffeine headaches. That's one thing. Or if you're playing a lot of video games, you start to get a headache. Well, if you drink hot coffee with that, it helps to alleviate some of that caffeine does. But I was just kind of curious what people are using. Definitely post down in the comments what kind of energy drink you prefer. Now, I know that there's people that says that they're dangerous, yada yada yada. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're drinking 4 gallons of energy drinks that are, have the caffeine and sugar of 20 cups of coffee, then yeah, it could be pretty bad, I guess. But you got to be responsible with it. And my brother, he suggested Monster, so I've tried a few Monster drinks here. The flavor I like the most is, I think it's called Rehab. It's like a tea, man. That's some pretty good stuff. I didn't notice where it really gave me any more energy to keep me awake. So I don't think it's really an energy drink. I think that particular brand of it, at least, is more for just having something refreshing to drink. So if you're looking for a refreshing drink, it's not going to leave you thirsty. Definitely use that Rehab. That's one of my favorites. But it looks like they've got a lot of flavors out there. I was out at the station earlier looking. There's Bangs, I think it's called, Rockstar. I mean, there's so many different types, but I don't want to buy something I'm not going to enjoy. So comment in there, let me know what you're drinking. what your favorite flavor of it is, or the color. I guess it looks like the cans are different colors. So we have got another ship here. But yeah, I've been loving the sandbuck. Like I say, the hull continues to be an issue, even with the stuff that we've put on it with the double planked hull. It's helped some to where we can use that repair kit. But even with the different armors that we've got, obviously we don't have Ouroboros yet. I put the Royal Guardian on, or the Royal Custodian, I guess it's called. Had that on. It does all right, especially against fire when you're dealing with those Wyvern fleets. If you're looking for Wyvern's breath and you're delivering roving missions where it's sending those ships after you, you might want to put on some Guardian armor. Right now I'm running the Wrathful Ward because I'll get up in the mix of 3 or 4 ships. They used to like to try and bump you around, but when you put this armor on, they kind of steer clear of you, and you just ram them, and it sends that gas cloud out. So something else I'm using is the LaFleur. I don't use it against the Plague Fleets, mainly because they have armor that negates it. Obviously, this is where we got the weapon from, so naturally they're going to have a way to defeat that armor. But it works great for these types of ships. So we lose that LaFleur. It does a good job of just really dropping down their health, man. And it zaps their stamina is the main thing I look at. And one more pass here, and you're done. Oh, he wasn't done. There he went. Sometimes it takes a second for that fire to spread, so. But this is typically what I'm out here doing. Is usually a little bit more action out here. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing as many ships. Okay, I've got belong to trade zone, so we need to come back up here, up in here. I like to try and follow those trade routes. If you do that, you will find more ships, guys. It's kind of basic stuff they added in there, but it's real life. If you're out looking for ships, you want to be along the trading route to find the ships. These DMC ships, they're going to carry everything from green heart planks to magnetite, screw mechanisms, Rossley cloth, camphor, cannonball crates, and of course silver. Now you may see I have it turned in a blacksmith cake. I leave it on because it tends to make bombards and mortars open up. So I'm not seeing anything that's really highly valuable except for the fact that they are worth 50 points and I am out here to get that SP. Another way you can bring ships in easy is just come up, start a plunder somewhere. Naturally it's going to bring ships in. But that's why I used the the Sandbuck, the Starbuck. This ain't Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, I use that Sandbuck because of that blast radius you get, and if you have a lot of ships in, that thing is amazing. So if you're running world events, again, man, between your armor and using that and the LaFleur, you're zapping your energy out. You hit that lead ship with that LaFleur, it's going to zap his stamina completely out. It's going to do a little damage, but then you want to crash into him so he gets hit with another gas cloud and just dump your cannons right into those weak spots. But you will go through a lot of repair kits using this ship. Now you can have like scrapper station stuff I've got on there, but the battle has to last long enough for you to actually pull alongside them to throw fire bombs or board the ship or fire your flintlocks. So those are some things that you got to look at with your ship as well. You almost always get you a blaze effect when you're throwing those fire bombs onto the deck of the ship, which is nice in a really high congested area of ships. So some other things I've done is I've come up through the pass up through here, and you want to swing in here and just farm all up through here. And there's a lot of great ships, but you can get overwhelmed in there if you're not careful. It's not as bad as when you were in the smaller ship and they had 100 ships to every one of you. So obviously people are out farming these fleets. If you remember, they said it was going to have a intelligent, what they call it, an intelligent economy system, which was also going to deal with resources as well. So we're going to take these guys out. The Morbid Angel. Nice doesn't look like they really have anything to write home about. But we are going to take these guys out anyway. There it went. You got to hit that right spot, man. If you can hit him in red, especially that big crate, it will almost, not always, but almost always, about 90% of the time, give you that radius blast to take out anything else in the area. But the last few days, I've been trying to do ship builds, showing people what we're using, trying to, help get people where they can actually farm this stuff. Because that's one of the things that I've ran into is we've got guys that are, they're in brigs and snows, but it'll take them forever to take out a basic rogue ship. And you get to looking at it, it's because of the weapons. And a lot of the weapons they don't want to spend the points on. My guess is that they probably don't have a very strong empire yet, where they're bringing in quite a bit of the pieces of 8, where they can afford to buy it from black market. So this is your next thing, man, just farming ships. But you need that open contract to be drawing into special ships. But it's basically like this: you're just out farming with an open contract to draw in those ships, and occasionally they'll pop in on you. But commodities, I used to just let them stack in the warehouse. I started selling some of that stuff off. I had no idea that some of those commodity items could bring in so much silver, which makes sense. But you can overload. St. Anne's kind of overloaded. I think everybody's selling there. Very few people are buying, so everything's getting where it's a little bit more expensive. Or they buy for a lot less. So I heard that you can come into an area and it's going to tell you what they want. I don't know that that's true. Let's see. You could go to these trade lines and it'll show you what they're running, what the ships are running on it. But if you know how to do that, it's supposed to give you the information on exactly. I don't like pulling up broadside to this guy. And we're going to pop them with some gas just to slow them down a little bit. Wow, it's just surprising how fast that thing turns. That'll slow them down. So even though this is a level 9 ship, as you've noticed, sometimes you come in here and you'll have a level 5 ship and it's just hard to kill, man. You just got to find those sweet spots to hit. And even then, that should have done more damage than what it did. We just bump against them. We should be reloaded on the mortar now. It'll take a few more shots, but usually these guys go down in 2 shots using this ship. So I don't know if it's because they're carrying more valuable cargo, if it's just some kind of game glitch or something. And that could be. I've heard that they have some glitches like that where it'll send a typical ship. We were fighting a level 1, which you would think, hey, no big deal. Bump into it because you had to board it on the job board. So you just kind of bump it with a hole a little bit to queue up that boarding. And them things were taking off like they were level 12s, just like wearing you out, shooting mortars and stuff from Beddards. I didn't even know that the Beddard had a mortar chamber. It doesn't on ours. The auxiliary ports don't. Alright, we got its weak spot there. And we still support those fire bombards. They are always a great addition on your ship. But it's always fun to just come out on a raiding party. Don't care about boarding. I just like to sink them and move. Sink them and move. I will throw the fire bombs at them real quick. Fire bottles, I guess they are. It looks like Molotov cocktails, what it looks like. So, of course, we see our target here. He is going to be facing the wind most of the way. It looks like our wind shifted a little bit, so okay, we're looking good now. But I hope you've been enjoying the content, guys. If this is your first time on the channel, go ahead and hit that subscription, that notification bell as new pass lines come out in the season pass, new bosses and stuff. We're going to be putting those videos up, showing you the best ways that we've found to beat them. Typically, when we beat them, it's not we're only doing it once. We're farming it, so you want an effective way, so it's not a waste. I should have been more mindful where I shot that. I think I missed. I'm almost positive I missed. And of course, trying to steer this thing into the wind. Spot right there. Throw some fire bombs. I don't think we need any health, but it don't hurt. Does some damage to him anyway. Of course, that should have been it. Now, if you're wondering, where do I stock up on my ammunition? I'm tired of having to buy it from the hawker or these other people. I just do the shipwrecks. I typically come up here. And if you've watched some of our past videos on how to farm this, you just come up, there's shipwrecks all up through here. And you just keep making a loop. And as long as you leave one item in by the time you make it around to the head of the loop, you can do it. You can almost do these 4 shipwrecks right here and not even have to worry about going all the way back. And then you're also nearby a fast travel point there, so if you're shooting ships as you go, which I recommend doing because they carry a lot of commodities, which is going to give you your silver as well, leave one item back in the shipwreck that you don't really need. Always leave something back, even if it's something that you need right now. Until you go to leave, you can just alternate what the item is you're keeping and leaving, but it'll make it respawn in at about 30 seconds to a minute, you know. But if you don't, it's going to take a half hour for that stuff to respawn. So it just does you a favor on it. And when you go to leave the area, loot them all the way out if you want to. I mean, that's totally up to you how you want to play it. That's the great thing about any kind of RPG game. I wished I had brace there. Took a little damage, but it'll be okay. So when I see these are 50 pointers a piece, I think. Yeah, so you're looking at 150 points. Plenty of rubber. For those who are always low on rubber, you need to come down here. You can get those tools maxed out. It's great for your other types of weaponry that you're going to build, your armaments for your guns and stuff. You need the springs. You're going to need drill bits, and that's always going to be down in this area. Just farm it up, man. We'll hit those 2 there. We're going to come along the side, I believe. We could have got a little closer, but I want to hit that. That's the DMC there. Okay, I thought that was a rogue. We got to turn to make sure we can get away from that mess. Try to aim for red if you can. It's going to give you the blaze effect. There's a blaze effect. We want to pop this little health there. Should have took out a couple of them. Looks like it did. We'll pop this guy right here. He just blew up right as we dropped the hammer. And of course, we are going to drop another LaFleur mortar. Throw some fireballs on them. That'll heal up our health here. As far as permanent damage, I mean, that's pretty typical taking on these mortar ships. But that will heal once we are out of combat because we are using the healing forge, repair forge. Drop a few mortars on him. Or Zamazamas. And that one's down. You can pick up your cargo as you go, or you can pick it up later. It's up to you. See, these are the types of battles I like to get on. Boy, I missed that big, didn't I? Some health there. And that'll take him out. Now, obviously, in something like the Brigands, you're not going to take nowhere near the damage. It's going to move quicker. You're going to be able to dodge more of that firepower they throw at you. But like I say, every ship's going to have its strength and weakness. Most of the ships you're going to one or two shot. Every now and then you come across those bombard fleets or mortar fleets. And when you come across that, all you want to do is aim for the weak spots and then just hammer as much as you can, but watch your health. It's going to take about 5 or 6 shots probably to take them completely out. Even hitting all of his weak points. Don't know why that is. It just is. Okay, but I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. We are going to hop off of here and be doing some more builds here soon. So we are currently working on that bark. In case it's something that you're wanting to look at, we're working on a bark. Getting to repair. We've got repair 3 weapons. I'm hoping that we're going to see some new repair weapons open up because those are nice. But man, it would be nice to really have something that just, is, how that key armament you're going to have an RPG for your healers. It's always great to have that, and they just don't have it released yet. So I don't know what it's going to look like. It may be a piece of furniture. It could be a new type of a weapon system or something. But there's really only so much you can do. But one of the things about that ship is you're constantly healing yourself. And then anyone within a vicinity of you, I mean, anyone that comes up near you, they're going to be able to heal themselves as well. So that's something that's great. So we do have one last rogue over here. We're going to take this guy out. I believe it's a rogue. We'll look. He may actually be gone by the time we get there. But of course, he moved the other way right as I shot. But like I say, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscription. Make sure you comment in there, guys. Let me know what you liked about the video, what you'd like to see in a video. We can do this all day long, man, and just try to find some good builds for you. If you want to share your build, that'd be great. It's one of the things that we encourage our guys over on Discord to do, is to share their builds if they want to, whether it's through a video or just typing up what they're using. We prefer the videos because we like to actually see that ship in action rather than talk about it. You can look at it on paper and add the numbers up. It doesn't always work out that way in game, so definitely join us on Discord. We're going to put that link inside the description. It's an open invite for anyone who's watching that wants to be a part of our group. We have about 90 active members right now. A lot of guys have paired up. We've got some 3-man teams. Then a lot of times we'll call in our team captains if that's something you're interested in. You build your team inside Discord, and when there's big events, we just can contact those captains and say, listen, we're going to be doing a server-wide farm. We're going to bring as many people as we can. So when you come over, you invite the captain heads, and then they invite their crews over. And it makes it easier so just one person isn't doing it. We did that before where I was inviting everyone. Well, then you end up with a friends list of 140 people. And it's always the ones that don't add you. They're like, hey, I want to come join in. So then he comes, we need to add. So make sure you have Ubisoft. That's how we find everybody's. If you've got Ubisoft Connect, that's how we find you in game. With crossplay, you got people on PCs. We have people on Xbox. We have people over on the PlayStation 5s as well. So that's something you need to contend with. That's the best way to find people, Ubisoft Connect. So make sure you got that on there. But we're going to see everybody later. Have a wonderful weekend, and don't work too hard next week.